So this is a story that began in April 2021 when TVS invited us for a first ride experience of the new RR310. But then that did not happen. What happened was the second wave of the coronavirus pandemic. But this time we got another invitation earlier this month, and this time we're here at the Madras Motor Racetrack. So we imagine that we're doing this after such a long time after which I'm being on a racetrack, meeting friends and colleagues from the industry, and the fact that this is the new RR310 which we'd been so excited for, we thought, why not document the entire trip? Hello everyone, morning. Well, it's 7 o'clock on the dot here.
Yeah, no, we couldn't be bothered to log the entire trip. We really wanted to see the bike.
The new RR310. So we'd been wondering that the BS6 upgrade was introduced not very long back, and with that upgrade, TVS introduced a lot many new features on the motorcycles. So what does the 2021 model have on offer? Well, it is powered by the same engine, the 313cc single cylinder that makes 34 horsepower and 27 Newton meters of torque. The design all over remains the same. However, the styling has been changed, one would say improved, with this new paint job. And as it turns out, that's really just the beginning of it. What the new model offers is choice. You can pick from a dynamic kit or a race kit. With the dynamic kit, what you can do is change the preload settings, the compression and rebound on the front forks at the rear as well, which means you can prepare your RR310 as a proper race machine. So today on the track, we tried out both the suspension hold on just a second. Both the suspension setups, one you'd use on the street and the other on a racetrack like this. So for that, I'm going to let myself interrupt myself. So I just got back after 6 laps. Pardon my appearance, by the way. So the compression and rebound damping had been tweaked for more of a sporty behavior from the motorcycle. Quite a race machine actually, and to say the least, holy it makes a ton of a difference. It really does. So what the Ghost of Future Past was trying to tell you is that it really does make a ton of difference, and it's actually got a 20-step adjustment, which means you can tweak it however you want. So on the standard settings, on the racetrack, you do feel a little bit of dive whenever there's hard braking, so there's a lot of give on the front end. But when you're riding it with race spec suspension setup, wow, it's a different machine altogether. There is no give on the front, the wibbly wobbly nose dive does not happen under hard braking. It's super planted. This is the straight of this track, and high speeds, this motorcycle is super duper planted. At this point, the kind of performance the RR310 is now offering, I reckon it competes with motorcycles with higher displacement and a chassis and suspension setup similar to this. If you pick a race kit, you can go for a racetrack style handlebars, which means you can have a super committed riding stance. The foot pegs can be slightly higher, so that gives you better control. You can grip on the tank better. About the handling of the motorcycle, well, like I just said, it is a different machine on that suspension setup, and to flick from one side to the other, it's really crisp, really quick. About the engine, well, this engine I think performs the best in the middle of the rev range. The torque band is such that if you're in 3rd gear, 4th gear and you just whack open the throttle, there's a lot of grunt that it has to offer to you. The braking performance, well, I have no complaints in that department. Very crisp. Well, on the racetrack, 80 to 90% of the times we were using, depending on the front brake, but I did try to use the rear a little bit, and the bite from it is substantial. Moreover, the exhaust that you see, the canister where it's placed, it's a little higher than it used to be on the previous motorcycle, which means if you are up for it, if you are the knee down kind of person, you can get greater lean angles on the motorcycle during right hand turns. So these are the improvements that have come about because of the two kits that I mentioned. Plus, well, the previous model was updated with stuff like ride modes and the TFT screen with Bluetooth connectivity, so you can have turn-by-turn navigation and everything. On top of that, now what you get additionally is something called DigiDoc, so you can save your documents such as your vehicle registration, your driving license. So even the previous model had something called a race computer so that you can document your lap times and everything. But now the new model also has a day trip meter, which means you can document your street rides as well. Stats like distance you've covered in one day, or your average speed or fuel consumption in a particular trip. Now the best part here is that RR310 owners, say from 2017 and for the models afterwards, can also get these features retrofitted on their motorcycles. Before we end though, TVS Motor Company has also introduced something they called Built to Order, which means you can customize your motorcycle through their web configurator, or there's also an app called TVS Arrive. Now if you want a dynamic kit or a race kit, just add it to your cart when you're checking out buying a motorcycle, and the Arrive app will also give you details like how long will it take for it to be delivered and other such details. So this was our first ride experience of the 2021 RR310. To be honest, I've always been really happy with this motorcycle, for it has been a proper sports bike, not just a commuter that looks like one. And now with this model, it is more customizable. You can actually put a racing number here if you want. And the tweaks that TVS is offering, they genuinely do make a difference, making it a race machine for tracks like these. Now about the price though, the price for the standard motorcycle has been increased and it now retails at 2.6 lakh ex-showroom. The kits that you pick, the dynamic, the race, the other accessories if you're going to add on, that's going to add to your ex-showroom price. So the RR310 is, I reckon, on the path to creating more racer boys and girls in the country, and this is something really brilliant that TVS is doing with TVS Racing, inculcating what they learn on the track on machines like these. And we'll be looking forward for more such tweaks that make it a proper race machine that it really can be, and it's gone closer to it already. Thank you ever so much for watching. Consider subscribing. Bye bye, take care.